Okay, then I think we can move on. Now we'll move from quantitative, indicators and assessment to qualitative indicators. In such studies, it's equally important, especially when we're looking at quality of life aspects. It's important to understand the qualitative aspects also. To start with, I'll first now invite Apurva to present about sentiment analysis on social media comments and captions. Apurva, please share your screen.
Yes, sir.
Put it on slideshow.
Yes, sir. So is my screen visible?
Yeah, go ahead.
So good evening, everybody. I'm Apurva and I'm currently pursuing transportation planning in NIT Calicut. So today I'll be dealing with the first topic of qualitative analysis, that is sentiment analysis on social media comments and captions. So this is our outline. I'll be first going through the introduction, then going to methodology, data collection, data analysis. We have used three different types, so I'll be dealing with all the three and the comparison between those three methods and the commonly used hashtags, then the word cloud, and then the last summary and conclusion. So coming to introduction, sentiment analysis is a conceptual study of opinion and sentiments and emotion which is expressed in text. So when we are doing the computational mining of text, we'll understand the sentiment of people on any survey. So as a human being, everybody will have an emotion which they express in the form of a text. So this text, it might be a tweet or it might be a comment or caption or a statement or an entire document as so. So this text will be analyzed, and when we analyze the text we will get a sentiment score. So this sentiment score helps us to get the sentiment of that particular person or particular public who is speaking to us about the service or product. So now methodology, mainly we have used three different types for analysis, and the first one is Azure Machine Learning. This Azure Machine Learning is an MS Excel add-in feature.
Apurva, you got muted. Sorry. Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So coming to the methodology, as I was saying, we have used three different types. First one is Azure Machine Learning, and this Azure Machine Learning is an MS Excel add-in feature, and this uses multi-perspective question answering lexicon, and this lexicon contains 5097 negative words and 2533 positive words. So using this lexicon, it will divide the words, and the words which has the polarity score near to 0.99 are considered to be the positive sentiments, and near to 0 are considered to be the negative sentiments. And the next one is the text block. This text block is a Python inbuilt library. So this helps us to get the polarity value of a word, and also the subjectivity and the polarity of the statement. And also we have done the plotting using the matplotlib in the Python. And for more assurity, we have done the manual assessment of the sentiments as well. So now coming to the Azure Machine Learning. So as I told, it is an Microsoft Excel add-in feature. So first we have to get that add-in, and then we have to select this text sentiment analysis in that. And then whichever cell range we are having, we have to select all the cell range. And then when we click the predict, it will give us the sentiment, and the sentiment scores will be displayed. So using that score, we can go on further with our analysis. So now coming to the text blob. As I told, text blob is a Python Python inbuilt library. In this, first we have to extract the comments and statements from Instagram or any other social media, and then we clean the statements by removing all the unwanted symbols and so, but except for hashtags, which we'll be using in later stages. And then we break down the statement into each words, and then we create an array. So when the array is created, it will check whether the length of the word is more than 3 or not. If it is more than 3, then it will keep in the array, and if it is less than 3, it will remove from the array. Less than 3 in the sense of words like of, and, so these will not give us any significant meaning, so those words are removed from the array. And next, it will check every word with a predefined dictionary, and each word is given an polarity value. To get the polarity score of the whole sentence, the polarity value of each word in the sentence is averaged, and depending upon this polarity score, it is classified as a positive sentiment or neutral or negative. Like if it polarity score is positive, then it is said to be the positive sentiment. If the polarity score is neutral, it is said to be the neutral statement. And if polarity score is minus, it is said to be the negative sentiment. And using these data, we will plot the graphs and we will analyze the data. Now coming to the data collection, as I told, we have used Instagram basically to get the data, and we have collected the data. We have manually extracted the comments and captions of particular post using the Church Street First hashtag. And in the left side, we can see the snippet of the Church Street First Instagram page. And we were able to collect 157 comments and statements or sentiments in November, and in December we were able to collect 316, in January 331, and in February 356. And if we are to see the increasing pattern from November to December, it is 102. We can say that 1 or 2% increase has been there in the statements, and from December to January almost 5%, and from January to February almost 8%, and from November to February we can say it is almost 128% increase in the statements. Now coming to the data analysis, and first I'll be dealing with Azure Machine Learning algorithm. And in November 2020, we were able to see 80% of the total statements were positive sentiments. That is 126 statements were positive out of all in the November. And 11% were neutral sentiments, 9% were negative sentiments. And in December, 75% of the statements were positive sentiments, 10% was neutral, 15% was negative. For January, 79% of the statements were positive, that is 262, and 8% was neutral sentiments, and 13% was negative sentiments. And in February, we can say 81% of the statements, that is 288 statements, were considered to be the positive sentiments, and 9% was neutral sentiments, and 10% were negative sentiments. This is the overall idea of all the months. We were able to see that the positive comments has been increased by 129% using the Azure Machine Learning algorithm. And now coming to the manual assessment, and through manual assessment in the month of November, we were able to see 74% has positive sentiments, that is 116, 26% to be the neutral sentiments, and there were no negative sentiments. And in the month of December, 72% were positive sentiments, 25% of these statements were neutral sentiments, and 3% of these statements were negative sentiments. And in the month of January, we were able to see 80% of the statements to be the positive sentiments, that is 265, and 19% were neutral sentiments, and 1% was negative sentiment. In February, 85% of the total statements were positive sentiments, that is 301 statements, and 14% was neutral statements, and 1% was negative sentiment. And this will give us an overall view of all the 4 months. From November to December, the positive sentiments or positive statements have been increased by 97%. From December to January, almost 16%. From January to February, almost 14%. Also, we could see that positive comments have been increased by 160%. And also, the negative sentiments were least. And this is regarding the text block, that is the Python inbuilt library. And in this, we have done this for all the 4 months, because for the Python library, we need more data, and hence all the data has been used for this particular analysis, and out of all the 4 months we could see 725 statements to be the positive sentiments, that is 63% of the statements were positive, and 388 statements to be the neutral sentiments, that is 33% were neutral, and 47 were the negative sentiments, that is 4% of the total statements were negative. Now the comparison between the methods. And here we can clearly see that the positive sentiments out of all the, considering all the methods, it is more than 60%, and the negative sentiments are least. So this is the comparison between all the 3 methods that we have used. This is some of the commonly used hashtags that we were able to extract. And clearly we can see that Church Street First is the main commonly used hashtag with the times of usage, that is 247 47 times. And the next commonly used hashtag is Clean Air Street, which was used 122 times. And the other hashtags which were used are like Church Street, Namma Bengaluru, Art Street, Art, Weekend, In This, God, Get, Clean Air, Bangalorean. So these were the hashtags that people were using, and we can clearly see that Church Street First was the main hashtag that is used. So from this we can get an idea that people were adequate, or people liked the idea of Church Street First and also Clean Air Street. So because they have liked the idea of pedestrianization, I like the idea of the Church Street First project, they use these hashtags in their post when they were posting anything on their social media. And this was the word cloud which we have generated using all the statements. And even in this we can see that the words like Clean Air Street, Church Street, Bengaluru, this street. So these are some of the commonly used words in their statements, and also some words like music, family, dance, enjoy. So such words will indicate us that people were actually enjoying while they come to the Church Street on weekends, and also the activities which were provided on the streets of the Church Street were able to attract more people, and they actually, in fact, they enjoyed coming there on every weekend. And also some of the words like walk, active, and all will give us an idea that they actually enjoyed walking on the Church Street. So this word cloud, it will generalize that overall it was a very good impact on public, because they have shown a positive feedback on this particular project. So now coming to the end, summary and conclusion. More than 60% of the total comments are observed for all the months to be positive using all the 3 methods that we have used. And we can also see that for every month, the statements, that comments and captions have been go on increasing. And also people notice the change and adopt to it eventually, because initially we could see very few number of comments and statements or posts on the Instagram or any other social media. But as the time proceeded, we were coming to the end of the pedestrianization period, that is when we were coming to the end of February, we could see huge number of people coming on the social media, posting and expressing their views on the project. So we can understand people eventually adapt to it, and also they start liking the change that we have done. So this will also reflect that there were 128% increase in the positive sentiments. So this will indirectly or directly suggest that positive sentiment of the public. So public have been given positive sentiment on this project. So thank you.
Thanks, Apurva, for very nicely presenting on mining social media. I think this is sentiment, and this is a wonderful tool. And with the importance of social media today, I think we can really use such a powerful tool to understand the sentiments and get a qualitative assessment of such initiatives. We'll have questions after the next presentation, Kiran. So please, hold yourself. We'll complete the next presentation also, and then we'll take up a few questions on both the presentations. So with that, I invite Babita next to now present about visitors' opinion on quality of life and pedestrian streets. Babita.
Yes, sir.
So is my screen visible?
Yeah. Would like to also switch on your video.
So there was initially a...
No problem. Please
Yeah.
go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So good evening all. I'm Babita, pursuing my Master's in Transportation Engineering from Ramaya University of Applied Sciences. Today I'll be presenting about visitors' opinion on quality of life and pedestrianized street. These are the contents of the presentation, and coming directly to the introduction. Here, visitors' opinion survey is conducted to know the visitors' attitude towards pedestrian-only Church Street, and also to assess impact in terms of, here a survey instrument was designed in different sections to assess pedestrians' perception of other parameters related to Church Street. In this questionnaire, the first section of the questionnaire obtains information on the purpose and the frequency of visit to the Church Street, and the second section was designed to obtain the opinion on factors contributing to the quality of life and the satisfaction level of the visitors before and after the pedestrianization on factors such as street facilities, safety, and road maintenance are obtained in the third section. And finally, at the last, socio-demographic details are also obtained. Coming to the methodology, here a descriptive analysis is done to understand the opinion of the respondents, and the perception of visitors on before and after the pedestrianization is analyzed for the visitors of Church Street. And the first-time visitor samples were analyzed to understand the streets they generally visit separately. And finally, a visitor's pedestrian-friendly environments impact on quality of life are evaluated, and in all the questionnaire for the agreement level and the satisfaction level, a 7-point Likert scale starting from highly satisfied to highly dissatisfied were used. Coming to the data collection, here the data was collected through a direct face-to-face interview, and the survey was conducted on weekend Saturdays and Sundays from last weekend of December 2020 till February 2021. And for the data collection, enumerators and the 8 project interns were involved, and a total of 656 samples were collected, out of which 94 samples were of first-time visitors. Looking at the socio-demographic profile of the visitors, here this gives an overview of the collected samples' demographic characteristics such as age, gender, income, education level, occupational class, etc. And here the socio-demographic details of the complete 656 samples and also the 562 samples which excludes the first-time visitors is presented. Looking into the 656 samples, here 52% were male and 48% were female, which matches the gender ratio of Bengaluru population. And the most significant proportion of the samples collected is in the younger age group, that is from 18 to 29 years. And when we look at the monthly family income, based on this observation of the respondents, it is also evident to say that the Church Street attracts people of all economic backgrounds. When we look at the socio-demographic profile of a 562 samples, which excludes the first-time visitors. Here, again, we could see 51% were male, 49% were female. And again, the majority of the samples were collected from the age group of 18 to 29. Here, with respect to the first-time visitors, 51% were male and 49% were female. And out of 94 samples, the majority of the first-time visitors, they generally visit nearby streets such as MG Road, Brigade Road, Commercial Street, etc. And we have nearly 22% of the respondents who come from distant places like Hebal, JP Nagar, Jalewalli, Jainagar, Elanka, etc. Coming to the visitors' preference to visit the Church Street, here the information regarding their frequency of the visit and also their preferred day to visit the Church Street is given. And most of the respondents are occasional visitors to the Church Street, and 14% among them are the first-time visitors. And only 27% of the visitors prefer to visit Church Street on weekdays, and the remaining 73% of the visitors prefer to visit Church Street on weekends. Here, thus, we can also say that most visitors prefer to visit Church Street on weekends than on weekdays. Coming to the purpose of visit, we can see that 28% come for the purpose of dining, 26% for the purpose of recreation, and 22% for the purpose of shopping. So 90% of the trips are mostly recreation and leisure trips, and only 10% constitute work and other trips. This may be also due to because the data was collected on the weekend during the pedestrianization. When we look at the opinion on spending time in the Church Street, 71% of the visitors are spending more hours than usual in the Church Street, and we can know that here 91% of the respondent agreed that pedestrianization is a reason for them to spend more time in the Church Street. Here, this figure helps us to. And this figure shows us the shift in the travel modes used by the visitors to reach the Church Street before and after the pedestrianization. Here we can see the use of private transportation like the personal car and the two-wheeler has been decreased, and the personal car has been decreased by 1% and the two-wheeler usage is reduced by 5% after the pedestrianization. And the usage of taxi is also reduced by 1%. And when we look at the bus and metro, which are the primary public transit system in Bangalore, 1% increase in the usage of bus is observed, and also there is an increase of walking by 4%. Coming to the visitor satisfaction level on various service quality of the Church Street, when we look at the cobblestone pavement, here 32% of the visitors are satisfied with the cobblestone pavement before the pedestrianization, which has increased to 94% after the pedestrianization. And with respect to the continuity in the footpath, nearly 96% of the visitors are satisfied with the continuity in the footpath after the pedestrianization. And with respect to the wider footpath design, 95% of them are satisfied with the wider footpath design in the Church Street after the pedestrianization, which was only 32% before. When we look at the public seating spaces in the Church Street, here 57% of the visitors are satisfied with the public seating spaces after the pedestrianization, and we can also see that nearly 30% of the respondents have shown their dissatisfaction even after the pedestrianization, because there were no temporary seating spaces provided after the pedestrianization, because the main objective of this study was to assess the perception without bringing any change to the street infrastructure. When we look at the seating arrangements in the restaurant, 83% of the visitors are satisfied with the outdoor seating arrangements in the restaurant after pedestrianization. And the outdoor seating arrangements in the restaurants are made as a part of this Cleaner Street initiative, and positive responses on the same here explains that the public welcomes such arrangements. When we look at the improvement in the air quality, here 83% of them are satisfied with the improvement in the air quality after pedestrianization, and we can also note that there is a 58% dissatisfaction level before the pedestrianization. And here, higher satisfaction level, this may be due to the street closure for the traffic, indicates that public is also aware that reducing this usage of motorized vehicles improves the air quality. When we look at the space for entertainment, 28 and 89% of the visitors are satisfied with the space for entertainment in Church Street before and after the pedestrianization respectively. And here a higher level of satisfaction may be because the road was closed and many people could showcase their talents on street, and also many activities such as art display, street play, music, dance, many activities were organized by DULT, which have encouraged positive responses from the users. Coming to the street aesthetics, here 93% of the respondents are satisfied with the street aesthetics of the Church Street. Which is only 28% before, and most visitors street lighting condition. Here 84% of them are satisfied, and
Hello, Babita. We can't hear you.
Am I audible?
Yeah, please go ahead. We just lost you in between. Go ahead.
Okay, so is my slide visible?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so when we look at the street lighting condition, 84% of the pedestrians are satisfied, and this may be due to the improved street lighting conditions after the pedestrianization. Coming to the police patrolling, again, 79% of the respondents are satisfied with the public police patrolling after the pedestrianization, which was 31% before. Even with respect to the CCTV surveillance, we can see the similar trend of 79% of the respondents being satisfied after the pedestrianization, which was 32% before. Coming to the street maintenance, here when we look at the cleanliness of the road and footpath, 95% of the visitors are satisfied with the cleanliness of road and footpath after the pedestrianization. And when we look at the basic facilities like drinking water and public toilet, only 33% are satisfied with both drinking water facilities and public toilet facilities in Church Street. And here now we can also observe that almost 50% of the respondents have shown their dissatisfaction level with the drinking water facilities even after pedestrianization, because there were no proper drinking water facilities available on Church Street, and also temporary facilities were also not arranged considering the COVID situation. And when we look at the toilet facilities in the Church Street, again, more than 50%, like that is 56% of them were dissatisfied even after the pedestrianization, again due to the non-availability of the public toilet facilities in the Church Street, and this may be the reason for the same. Coming to dustbins availability, here again 87% of the respondents are satisfied with the dustbins availability after pedestrianization, and there is an improvement in the street maintenance activities during pedestrianization. Coming to visitor satisfaction level on overall facilities in Church Street, here we can observe more than 90% of the visitors are satisfied with the overall design of pedestrian-friendly Church Street, overall service quality, and also with the overall cleanliness of the street after pedestrianization. When we look at the visitors' perception on accessibility to and from Church Street, so, here we can see that the visitors' agreement level on accessibility to various public transit services such as metro and bus, and also the opinion and the visitors' opinion on good connectivity of public transit from their residential location is shown here, and as well the ease of accessibility to the parking spaces is also shown. And a majority of the visitors interviewed agreed that there is a good accessibility to the metro service, as we have one of the entry exit point of the MG Road metro station on Church Street, and with bus stops we could observe that many people were not aware of nearby bus stops, and also more than 80% of the pedestrians agreed taxis, autos were easily accessible, and they were also comfortable walking from the parking spaces. When we look at the next section about quality of life and contribution of this pedestrianization related factors to a better quality of life, here 10 factors were related to the pedestrian only environment were identified to understand the visitor's perception of these factors contributing to a better quality of life. And more than 90% of the visitors agree that all these defined 10 factors contribute to their better quality of life. And almost all the visitors interviewed, that is about 98% of them have responded positively to the statement, pedestrian friendly environment has improved their quality of life. When we look at the advantages and disadvantages of the pedestrianization, here again 98% of the visitors agreed that the pedestrian-friendly street promote a healthy lifestyle and are accessible to all the age group, and the street is safer as the road is closed for traffic, reducing accidents related to pedestrians. And here we can also note that 72% perceive that they need to take a longer alternative route because the road is closed for traffic. When we look at the visitors' opinion on the pedestrianization, all the visitors interviewed responded positively to the Clean Air Street initiative, and 95% of the visitors have stated pedestrianization as a good idea. Coming to the recommendation of the pedestrianization of street, here all the Here, 96% of the visitors recommend extending the current implementation of the pedestrianization of Church Street during the weekends, that is beyond February 2021. And 74% of the visitors agree to the permanent pedestrianization, that is pedestrianizing the Church Street for all the 7 days in a week. And 60% of them recommend part-time pedestrianization, which is pedestrianizing the Church Street on weekends, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And some of the visitors, that is less than 30% of the visitors, recommended partial pedestrianization, that is pedestrianizing only for specific hours of a day. When we look at the summary and conclusion, visitors' perception of the Church Street before and after the pedestrianization varies largely. And even without making any changes in the street infrastructure, the perception after the pedestrianization is very favorable when we compare it with before pedestrianization. And there may be various reasons to this. Because visitors were delighted with the vehicle-free zone, as they could walk freely, and outdoor dining in the street, and various vibrant activities that were happening on the streets, etc. And also, the street looked very much livelier and cleaner after the pedestrianization. And we can also conclude saying that here the street also attracted many people and visitors, and they welcomed this new initiative as it was accessible for all the age group, and it was like one of a kind experience, as there was no other such street in Bangalore. And visitors encouraged this initiative and suggested extending this network of pedestrian only street. And here we can also note, people are also aware that closing road for traffic improves air quality, and this initiative helps in achieving equality and equity by serving all. And for extending the pedestrianization in future, visitors' perception can also be considered when planning and executing such sustainable strategies. Thank you.
Thanks, Babita, for nicely summarizing the results of visitors' opinion survey on pedestrianized street and quality of life. I'll request Apurva and Hemanthini to also come on camera. We have some time for a few questions. Anybody who is willing to ask questions, please raise. Yeah, Mukti, please go ahead.
Thank you, Professor. First of all, I will say this project has, at least to my knowledge, came through it came through like social media and networking, various platforms, yes. And then through webinars. So projects involving this, I consider as a compliment.
Thank you.
Because this kind of projects really need, wide publicity. So yeah. Definitely, I congratulate the team for initiating wonderful project.
Thank you.
Now, I might have missed in between some information, but I wanted to know that apart from the pedestrians and all other road users, have you tried to collect information from the shop owners? Because mostly what my experience is initially at the beginning of the project, when you propose these kind of activity, pedestrianization, the market people, the shop owners, always feel like it is going to reduce the footfall. Going to reduce their witness.
We have a separate survey that we did on shop owners' opinion, and there is a full chapter. There will be a presentation next one on shop owners' opinion survey. So okay. There you understand. Yeah. So we have in fact covered all the establishments that were there on Church Street. With this survey. So you'll see the detailed results in that presentation when we will come. In fact, in the sentiment analysis also, of course, these social media comments are not just by visitors, but also by shop owners. Many shop owners were also commenting. So there also it kinds of captures both the visitors' perception as well as from shop owners. So just wait for 2 more presentations and you'll hear in detail about what shop owners feel about this.
Yes, sure. Looking ahead for that. And just one small query.
Sure.
Almost because this is almost done, I believe. So are you getting like hands-on for more streets to be followed or same streets to be extended? Is it like some project period or it would be
both are on the cards. In fact, on the closing ceremony, we brought both the the honorable member of parliament and the MLA that comes from that constituency, and both of them have also promised the political support to extend this initiative. At the same time, DOLT is already on card to implement such thing on at least 3 to 4 such streets more, across Bangalore. So definitely, and this report has gone to the government now, and it will serve as an excellent, decision support for them going forward.
Sounds impressive. Thank you. Thank you.
And if you have seen the presentation on the pedestrian LOS where we talked about the footfalls,
Yes.
there also I actually commented that contrary to the opinion of businesses that people will not come if you simply pedestrianize the street, but where there you actually saw that in the subsequent months of pedestrianization, as more and more people got to know it, the footfalls substantially increased on the Church Street, which also, as you'll see in the shop owners survey and the results, that they also felt that the footfalls and the revenue, substantially increased because of the pedestrianization. So that actually, put aside the fear of business community, and I think it's an excellent example to really showcase whenever we are projecting it, such initiative in other places.
Yes, definitely we will use this quote,
Yes.
Quote
Yes.
it at more places. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. And congratulations to the team.
Thank you. Kiran Kumar.
Hi, sir. Good evening. My question is on sentiment presentation. I'm not sure about how the analysis are made, but my question is, I understand that words are predefined to categorize those as an neutral or what you call negative or a positive sentiments. I just want to know if, for example, or instance, if any comments having couple of a duplicate or repeated positive comments, how these how are the filters are categorized to take one sentiment positive or either or negative, how it is filtered? I want to know that.
Sure. I think Apurva, you can go ahead and I'll pitch in.
Yeah, so like as I told, we have used 3 different methods, and for this purpose itself, we have used 3 different methods, because in Azure Machine Learning, if the sentence has 2 words, like if it is having 2 negative words, which will actually give the positive, at last it will give the positive sentiment, but indeed it was the machine was programmed in such a way that it will give us as a double negative. So to carry to make sure that it has been done right, we have used 2 other methods also, like text blob and the manual assessment has also been done to address this problem itself. I hope it clears that up.
And that's why we also did this sentiment analysis manually also. So if you recall in the presentation, and that's exactly what the idea was, to really ascertain and validate what these predefined libraries are giving, and also manually validating it. So that's why we thought of doing 3 different ways of sentiment analysis and checking it for the representativeness. There's a question in the chat, Purva. You can answer it separately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you give examples for keywords for neutral, positive, and negative sentiments? Like as in, what are neutral, negative sentiments? Is it like that?
Yeah, I think his audio is not working, so he may not be able to.
Yeah. So basically when it is positive, we all know, I guess positive and neutral we can understand, because whenever the word is like good, wonderful, it directly means that it is a positive sentiment, and negative sentiment is such like bad, not working, or something like that. So that gives us a negative sentiment, and which is coming to the neutral is that fine. So that is, they're not giving us whether it is nice or whether it is bad, they're like okay with it. So fine, it can be improved. So these words, it is not that they're not saying it has a negative, and they're not even saying it has a positive. So these words are considered to be the neutral. So I hope
And in fact, yeah, you'll find more details, obviously, in literature if you search for, because sentiment analysis is now used widely in different fields to understand the sentiments. For example, even news channels use it substantially to understand the sentiments on certain topics and so on. And in transportation, there are several aspects where we can make use of this method very effectively for qualitative assessments of how people feel about. Are there any quick more questions before we go to the next presentation?